you ever been hit by a car?
No, it's never happened.
Never?
Yeah. Some of those guys in that Heroes group, though, there's a few that have been.
Yeah, so there's a guy on our board, Bryce Zeller, who has been hit twice now.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if this was the first or second one, but I remember being notified about it. And it was actually not too, it was right this back road here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like on Illinois, right
pretty
here.
Pretty straight
right
shot, yeah. And I think he literally was, I think he was headed south across from IU North there. So it's a straight shot. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone couldn't see someone cycling, like you're blind.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure enough, got hit from behind, and they did not stop. They kept going, and he was messed up. He was in the hospital for a little while.
Yeah. That's where I've been fortunate. I was in Fishers, north side of Fishers, so I could get to the country really quick.
Okay.
Now in Pendleton, I'm in the country.
Yeah.
You know, my oldest wants to start riding.
Okay.
In a big way. Like he wants a road bike. He wants to do the Tour to Komen, which is a big deal for me.
I may have a road bike for him if a 54 will work.
It probably would.
Okay.
For
we'll
a
talk
season.
later.
Yeah. he's growing like a weed. But, I was like, when we get to Pendleton, I will get you a road bike and we'll go ride because we can ride forever and see a couple cars.
Sure.
You know,
that's
I
awesome.
was like, you are not getting on a road bike with me. You know, in Fishers.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But those boys for the past 2 years, so I've got 13 and 10. But for the past couple of years, like we'll get on the trail, the nickel plate when we were there. Mm-hmm. We'll knock out 20, 30 miles.
Nice.
They're no problems. It's an expensive 20 or 30 for me, right? Got to stop at 4 Day Ray, have lunch. You got to get handles, get some ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more expensive than actually doing a
but Dad,
organized
it's the experience.
It's bonding.
Right.
I love it. I absolutely love those rides.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Those 15-mile-an-hour rides are better than the 25-mile-an-hour rides.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't forget those.
Yeah.
What else are they into?
So my oldest is into soccer.
Yep.
Okay.
Not in a big way. Like he does that for, he says, exercise.
Got it.
He
Okay.
loves running, cross country, track.
Nice.
He plays the saxophone now, which
Okay.
I'm super pumped about.
Yeah.
I picked that up when I was in 7th grade for
really? Okay.
a hot minute.
Yeah.
It gave it up, and I've regretted it ever since. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yes.
But yeah, my youngest is running because his older brother's running.
Got it. Okay.
And then he's playing some basketball too.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And I got 2 bonus kiddos, and they're playing some basketball and soccer and all that stuff. So
Nice.
yeah,
Awesome.
We don't really push the kids though. Like, do what you want.
Yeah, let them
Right.
do it.
Yeah, dude. If you want to, well, Luke Combs says it really well in a song of his. But like, you want to paint the most magical picture in the world and be famous for that? Cool, do it. I'll love you just the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Try stuff out, find out what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
go enjoy your life and do what you are passionate about. And
Yep.
life is really good that way.
Yeah, so my youngest daughter is going to play softball in college, and it was kind of like, hey, if that's what you want to do, awesome, figure it out. And then when we started going through the process of looking at schools, it had a lot of parents saying, well, how involved are you guys? I go, honestly, not very.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a decision she's got to figure out for herself. And if it's the right decision, awesome. If it's the wrong decision, we've all made a few wrong decisions in our lives, and you deal with the consequences and figure it out. And so that's kind of what it came to. And when she finally made her decision, some people said, oh, well, did you guys all side with her on that? I'm like, it wasn't really a side thing. It's like, she said, this is what I'm feeling. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. If you want to commit to it, I'm all in with you.
Right.
But yeah, the boys don't do travel stuff. They play rec league stuff and have fun. And, we don't play sports on Sundays when we can get away with it.
Right.
We're going to be at church,
Yeah.
If that interferes with church, very rarely are we going to choose your sport over that.
Sure.
So try to make their priorities, put them in the right place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, most of us aren't playing sports on Sundays anyway, are we? Right? Not for a living, anyway.
Yeah,
Well, no,
exactly.
no. I mean, man, those soccer fields and baseball fields. I coach high school ball, so I don't have to worry about Sunday sports.
Sure.
But, those fields are busy on Sundays.
Oh, I'm sure.
Early in the morning. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I don't know. It's only my personal opinion. My thoughts and feelings is like, these kids should have some other things going on Sunday mornings, right?
Yeah.
Like, put that first.
Yeah.
Build the foundation for them, and then go play sports.
Yeah.
Go do what you want.
The club sports scene, like, I didn't grow up in that. Like, that didn't really exist per se when I was a kid.
Yeah, me
and
neither.
now it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
It's a whole,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother thing.
It is
to
an
do on top of.
industry.
Yeah.
See what you get to look forward to?
I know.
Yeah, it's an
Congratulations.
industry.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. You're going to play at Grand Park this week.
Right.
and you're going to pay $35 to park there.
Yeah.
So one quick little snippet before we get going. So same daughter, played basketball, played AAU one summer, and I think they were in 6th grade at the time. So go up to Grand Park or the Pacers place there.
Yep.
First game that I attended, sat in the stands, and this group of parents was next to me, and they're literally talking about high schools and colleges. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing my best. Like, I need duct tape to go over my mouth because I'm looking at the court, and I love my daughter, love all the girls on the team. I'm looking at the court, I'm like, how about we just work on being the best 6th grader we can be?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a basketball expert or a scout, but I'm pretty sure none of these kids are playing in college.
Yeah.
Certainly not at the D1 level, and sure as heck not playing the WNBA.
Yeah.
So why don't we simmer down our expectations and just focus on how good of a 6th grader can we be and have fun and
let the kids be kids.
Enjoy showing up for the weekend and doing
Yeah. But there's a lot of Kool-Aid drinking in those areas, and we'll just, anyway, sorry.
And other things too.
Well, perhaps for some of these they may have been. That explains it. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Did a little extra. A little extra in their cup to get them.
Right. I'd be curious to know where are those girls now and what has happened, but it is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we'll probably get going.
There you go.
It's safer for me as I'm taking my hole.
We're getting way off the rails here.
Feel free to comment. Bash me if you want. It is what it is. All right. Is this thing on? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Summits Podcast. Thank you all for joining us from wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're tuning in on the Heroes Foundation YouTube channel, thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate that. If you are tuned into the Heroes YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the little notification bell icon so you can be alerted when new episodes like this one drop. We would greatly appreciate it. And then if you want to bash me about my AAU comment, feel free. I wasn't necessarily bashing AAU. It was just an experience I had.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Just keep digging.
Yeah.
Just keep digging.
Just keep shoving the leftover Halloween candy in my mouth.
Yep.
All right. Special guest today, folks, Mr. Andrew Peters. Andrew, welcome to the Summits Podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Why don't you do us the favor of introducing yourself to our viewers and listeners, the millions and millions of viewers and listeners we have.
Wow. That's impressive, guys.
Yeah,
that's awesome. No, Andrew Peters. I grew up in Carmel. For the most part, my early childhood. Moved away to Evansville.
Okay.
Yeah, a little nugget there.
Yeah.
Spent a couple years there. It was an awesome time, actually.
Work change with your parents or something, or what's
a divorce?
Okay.
Yeah, which I'll expound upon maybe a little bit later. Just the seasons of my life and how those all molded together to it became a purpose, like those painful times in your life, right? All of these different things, painful times, good times, like it's a reason. There's a reason it happened, and it's to, help others along the way.
Yeah,
you learn from your things, help other people in their tough times. But anyway, so I grew up in Carmel until about 7th grade, middle of 7th grade, 8th grade, and went to Evansville for a couple years, but then went to high school in Fishers, in Hamilton Southeastern.
Okay.
Go Royals. There was only one high school when I went to school there, so that's a little while ago. But that's the good school.
Yeah.
Then stayed in Fishers pretty much up until recently this summer, and then went out to Pendleton. But in the wine and spirits business now.
Okay.
It's an interesting business to be in right now.
Yeah, can imagine.
But nonetheless, a really fun industry to be a part of. A lot of cool experiences and things like that. But I've got 2 kiddos of my own and 2 bonus kiddos, which I absolutely adore. Beautiful fiance who happens to be sitting behind us right now. She'd look a lot better on camera than us 3.
Facts.
But yes, but she is, as I put it before, she's the rainbow behind the storm, right? She is the blessing that came on the backside of a really tough time in my life, right? We're going to talk about my cancer battle at some point, but there was more than just that, right, that I was dealing with in that period of time, and through that, and through learning from all that, it set me up to be loved by the most wonderful person in the world. And so I'm so grateful for her and her kids. You know, her kids allowing me to love them and love their mom. It's been really cool. So really cool blended family. Kids love each other, and
that's good.
Life is really
Are you taking notes and recording this to use for later?
I sing her praises every day. But
we can snippet this out for you so
Right.
to be able to use it later in time.
But had just a really interesting, I guess, adult life. We've talked about it a little bit, but I went to school at Indiana University, the Kelly School. Here in Indianapolis.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
So there was a recent football game that I think at least 1% was good because I donned crimson. So
yes,
I've paid my penance, I think, at this point.
Quick little segue on that note. IU traveled out to Oregon. When that first, when the schedule first came out, this is well before number 3 versus number 7. Like, hey, IU's playing at Oregon. Never been out there. That'd be really cool.
It's
all right,
such
let's
a cool
go.
place to see them.
It was awesome.
So handful of us said, "Yep, we're going to that game, regardless of whatever. Like, we're going to that game." All right. And long story short, ticket was open. Didn't get claimed. Daniel's got business out in Seattle, so I conjured him to go. Purdue guy to go to the IU Oregon. He's like, "Yeah, that sounds like fun, whatever." So go out there, cold, rainy, shocker. And he's like, "I don't have any IU gear naturally, being a Purdue guy." So I'm like, I got an extra sweatshirt. Here you go. Then we get out there, and it was even colder that morning than we thought. It was pretty chilly,
and it was a little rainy.
And it started raining. So they had IU had this tailgate, and they had a little merch section. So he goes over there. He's like, "I'll take that windbreaker jacket, whatever." So he comes back, and
specifically was lined. It was like it was
Correct.
like the warmest item there. So
starting to sound like he's a cyclist.
Kind of right. Well, so he did his part. He's out all IU geared out. I'm like, all right, we appreciate that. And then obviously we know what the result was. It was awesome. So
it was a lot of fun.
I was talking earlier about the experiences of being in the wine business. Well, we represent King Estate Winery, the King family. And they're out of that area, really close with the Nike folks. Anyway, they brought us out one time.
Awesome.
You're going to stay at the vineyards. We're going to give you the royal treatment. Going to eat great food. Drink really old wine. Then we're going to go put you in a suite at a Ducks game.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. Great place to see a game.
I mean, if I have to go for work, I guess.
You know,
if I'm going to go, it's got to be a suite. I have to be wine and dine beforehand.
I know,
obviously,
it was a rough time.
That's cool, about time that happens again for you, right? Like
there was a group out there for that same game you guys were at.
Okay.
They're probably at the same tailgate.
It might have been.
They had to be really careful about it though, right? Because you're with Oregon people, but But anyway,
so IU.
So I went to the Kelly School here in Indianapolis. Which actually was a great blessing. Like any other teenager, I wanted to go to Bloomington and hang with my buddies. But my dad made the best decision for me. You know, he made it for me. It was awesome. He's like, look, if you stay here and you do the same courses, you're going to get the same degree. You can live at home. You know, I'll give you a car to get down there. Right? He's in the car business. It helped. My mom is as well. But they were like, you know, you stay and do this, and you'll get out of school, and you'll have no debt.
Yeah, true.
Pretty good deal at the time. Whatever. Looking back now, it's the best decision he ever made for me. But through that, you know, I was able to work through school and build a resume and make connections. But the ultimate one was I got hooked up with some folks that work for the Colts.
Nice.
Okay.
And so then they, on a whim, were like, hey, you want to come to training camp with us? You know, like, looks like you can throw a football. I've never played football in my life, but cool. But, you know, you could probably do this job. So I worked with the equipment staff for the 2001 training camp.
Okay.
And I went and busted my tail. I was doing all the dirty jobs that no one else wanted to do.
Right.
You know, I was getting up at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and spray painting, tackling, you know, sleds and things that needed to be crisped up, you know, before guys like Pete Ward got there, make it look good. And I was that guy, and I just busted my hump, and they were like, you want to stick around for the season? I'm like, sure. And then that ended up being a
pretty good season.
2001 was not a good one. That was Jim Mora's last
was
year.
it?
That was the playoff year, you know, playoffs. But it led to some really cool things. And, you know, the experiences were great, being a part of some really great teams and being there to experience a Super Bowl win, unfortunately a loss, and do another. But the relationships that came out of that were magical. And those came back in a big, big way when I got sick.
Okay. Yeah. How many years were you with the Colts?
I was there 2001 through Andrew Luck's rookie year, which was 12.
Oh,
so
okay.
Coach Pagano's cancer battle year.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But again, just being in there and seeing how those guys prepared for big games, day in and day out in practice, they're doing 7-on-7 drills, and I'm, from me to you, from Peyton, while he's calling out signals and this and that. Jeff Saturday's breathing all over me. By the way, one of the best guys in the world. I adore that guy.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Nice.
Yeah.
But, just seeing how they prepared and the faith side of it as well, and Coach Dungy and how he lives his life. I learned a lot, how to be a good man, a father, all those kind of things. And so, looking back on it now, it's like the memories of the cool games and the cool experiences kind of fade. And now what I still remember and I'm left with is the relationships and what they did for me as a person.
Right.
So,
Really, relationships are key.
Yeah.
I don't know your business now. I mean, we sell product, right?
Yeah.
I sell product. You sell product. You sell service and products.
Yeah.
But we're not the only ones in that market doing it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it comes down to, you talk price or what kind of products, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of it is relationship based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we grow. That's how we foster, the partners that we've got. And so I think it is a huge component that's probably not taught enough to younger kids, maybe in college. It'd be a good question I have a daughter that's a senior at IU now, going through the B school, and it's like, how much do they talk about just relationship building?
Yeah. It's key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to have a community, right?
Right.
Of people that you trust and will be there for you. I talk about it a lot in some other settings, like having those ninth inning friends, those people who are there for you, and they just
like that ninth inning friends.
Yeah, they just when you're down to your last out, you don't know if you're going to make it. The people that just show up, right?
Yeah.
They know what to do.
Yeah,
they don't need to be told what to do.
Yeah.
So, those are those kind of people that I met in that world. That later in my cancer battle, they came back in a big way, and I was like, they didn't have to. Those guys are plenty busy.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah.
But they took a lot of time out of their day, to help.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was great. I loved that time in my life, and it was just great. I mean, how many people get to do that? And travel the country with an NFL team in the heyday, right? With the greatest quarterback of all time, right?
Yep.
But then that transition, right? These seasons of life, right? You got, your childhood into that, then, the career talked about a little bit, and then you get hit with cancer, right? And then you grow out of that into the next, season of life.
Sure.
Yeah,
so I guess that's a good segue. So Andrew, what is your cancer story?
Yeah. So that was April 17th of 2022.
Okay.
Easter Sunday. I had just come off my 40th birthday 9 days earlier, and we went to lunch at Stone Creek in Noblesville, and I'm a cyclist, and my resting heart rate can be 50. It could get lower than that. When I was in the hospital, it got lower than that. Not in a bad way, but that dang thing kept dinging. Like, this is normal. You don't have to check on me every 5 minutes. But anyway, so I just happened to look at my watch while I was eating. I'm like, man, my heart's racing. Like, something's going on. Like, this is scary. Like, it shouldn't be this way. And I looked, and it was like 120.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so
just kind of relaxed, not doing anything.
Yeah, I was eating a pice of fish.
Yeah.
I was like, my kids were there.
Did you not like the fish?
It was pretty good,
actually.
Pretty good.
Okay. All right.
If I remember right. Yeah. I thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And that had always been a big fear of mine, right? Like, that's one of those things, like, you can't see it coming. You don't know it's coming. It just happens, right?
Yep.
And do a lot of cycling. I wish I ate better. If I did, I'd probably be in better shape than I am now. But that was always just a fear for whatever reason in my life. And I thought that was happening right then and there with my kids at the table.
Yeah.
So I said, I need help, and I need it now. And so they took me to Saxony. They're like, man, your potassium is really low, like deathly low. And I was like, okay, well, let's get that taken care of, because tomorrow I'm leaving for Branson, Missouri to go play Tiger Woods golf course, another, perk of the industry.
Yeah.
I'm like, get me out of here. Okay. And thankfully, the doctor was like, well, we're talking about how the room kind of spun on you. I'm like, yeah, I'm scared out of my mind, He's like, well, you're not going anywhere right now. Like, you're going to be here for a bit. Why don't you, let's just scan your head. And he came back a little while later and was like, Andrew, you either have had a stroke and didn't know it, or there's a mass. And in that moment, I've talked about this before, you're hoping you had a stroke, which is really odd, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're hoping that's what happened.
Yeah.
And so they, that was through like a CAT scan, CT type deal, MRI, and he's like, hey, you've got there's something in there. So they got me to Methodist late that evening, not where you want to be late in the evening.
Yep.
But yeah, they were like, this is what's going on. And I think at the time they thought it was a GBM. And they thought that really all the way up through surgery and afterwards. But so what it actually ended up being was a low-grade glioma in my right insula, so right through here, and with a mutation, astrocytoma. But at the time, they were giving me kind of worst-case scenario. At the time, I was down at IU. I was hoping the doctors were going to be like, hey, we can get you in the morning. Like, this thing's in my head. It's not supposed to be there. Whoever can take it out the fastest, that's who I want to take it out.
Right, yeah.
If I got to go outside and I'm by the White Castle by Methodist and somebody says, I can do it right now, I probably would have signed up for it. But it was a decision not made by me, someone else in my life at the time that was like, no, you got one chance at this, and I'll give her the credit for it, that we're going to get you to the Mayo, and we're going to go up there. So I went to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Yep. And by the grace of God, they were able to get me in like a couple days notice.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
When you got out there, did they perform all the same tests over, or do they just take a lot of that data?
I took all the data and scans and everything with me.
Okay.
They had me set with somebody, a doctor, met with him. He's like, man, this just isn't my specialty, but this guy can do this for you. Mm-hmm. And he's in surgery now, but he's willing to meet with you in a couple hours in between surgeries. And I'm like, in between surgeries? Doing 2 brain surgeries in a day? Like, these people are crazy, Yeah. And so I met with him, and he started going down, like I said, they thought it was worst case. He's telling me, like, all these people who have had these types of tumors, and none of them end well, right? We, as a cycling community within Heroes, experienced that last year. It's terrible. And that's what I thought it was. Luckily, when they did the surgery, it ended up being something different. Yeah. And my doctor, I don't remember a whole lot from, I guess, the surgery and the recovery for the first couple days. But
what was the time span from when you met with him to the surgery?
So April 17th diagnosis, I was in surgery on the 20th of May.
20th of May.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we went up, met with him, came home, and then I went back.
Okay.
A week and a half or so later.
Yeah.
But that time in between was, really nice. I got to do a lot of things. I'm like, if this is the last time I'm ever going to ride a bike, or I'm going to play golf, or I'm going to do these kind of things, like, I took a day out of, one day of that week and did something I love to do.
Yeah, that's good.
And
so that month, it had to have been like the accommodation of the longest month of your life and the shortest month of your life.
Yeah.
Just because of all the head trash going on.
Yeah, just a lot of retrospect type stuff, like thinking about things that happened, in the past, and, if by the grace of God I'm saved from this, how will I live my life moving forward, right? Like, I'm not going to live certain aspects of my life the way I did before this happened, right? And so, I kind of came to a little bit, and he's like, Andrew, you're a lucky man. You're going to be riding a bike for a really long time. And that's about all I remember.
Yeah. It's a good part to remember, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. But the saving grace in in the surgery itself was that they couldn't remove all of the tumor, and we knew that. Like, knew it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
There was going to be a second step to this. But there was a stroke that happened towards the end of my surgery, and I firmly believe that, God was like, I can take these amazing doctors to the limits. And in some cases, they went over the limits, right? They were like, he pushed the boundaries as much as he could, and I'm grateful for that. He's like, but I can't take them all the way, so I got to do something. And as they were about to close me up, finish surgery, I had a stroke in a blood vessel that went to the remaining tumor.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Like, I've asked my doctors about it. I can't tell you for sure it helped you, but it didn't hurt you. He's like, clinically, he couldn't really say it did or it didn't. But
yeah, I guess I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, so what does that do? Is that
cut off the blood supply to the tumor, right?
Yeah.
Just can't feed it anymore. But yeah, so then from there, I went home, recovered. That was a tough recovery, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're tired. I mean, it takes a lot of power to heal that type of trauma.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I went back and spent my 6 weeks in Rochester, as I like to refer to it, and did proton radiation chemotherapy stuff, and then did chemo on top of that in a pill form. I consider myself one of the lucky ones. Like, I didn't have to do the IVs and the things like that. Like, I truly admire the people that have to go through that.
It's not fun.
No, it can't be. I do feel like I got off easy. As hard as that may be for some people to believe, like, I got off easy in some ways. Like, I went up there, I was riding my Peloton, I was working, playing golf, making friends. Like, I had a community around me, I was doing all the things I wanted to do outside of missing the heck out of my kids.
Yeah.
Most people don't have that experience, and so I'm grateful, and I really admire people who have gone through that.
Yeah. The biggest thing, I get what you're saying for sure. I think one of the biggest things at the end of the day is the fact that we're lucky enough to sit here and talk about it.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
We know countless others who aren't.
Yeah.
And I think some people don't realize that there's that survivor's guilt's real. And we have our moments. But there are times when, I've had some friends pass away in the last 5 or so years, and I get these ruts where it's like, well, why the hell am I still here and they didn't, or they aren't, like, that just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's real for sure. Yep. I look at a guy that rode bikes with us for a long time. Oddly enough, he happened to be a neighbor in my neighborhood. With Scott and I, and I've ridden with him a couple times. But when he went through it, it was, he was calling me in the middle of the night and asking questions, and he was confused, and he didn't know what was coming next. And I was having those feelings of like, man, I've done a lot of really great things in my life. Do I want to watch my kids grow up? Yeah. Do I want to find love again? Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah.
But man, this guy, like, he's struggling, and it was, like, if I could trade shoes with him just for a day so he could experience the things that I was experiencing on the backside of my storm, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But you come out of the backside of that stuff, and really magical things, start happening, and you get to, you get to experience life in a different way, a whole different perspective, as to how you're gonna live the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You can turn, and we're going through this, heavily involved in Heartland Church and Fishers. Met some great men through that got me involved in the church, and we have this program going now where you take painful moments in your life and you turn them into a purpose. And it was all built by a guy named Davey Blackburn out of Indianapolis, who lost his wife and his unborn child to just a horrible, horrible crime. But he turned that into a ministry of like, yeah, this happened to me. It doesn't have to define me. And I can take that painful time and turn it into helping others in their painful times.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at in my life, is I'm taking all those, not just this, but other hurtful times in my life and trying to turn it into a really meaningful purpose.
Yeah.
For myself, my kids, my lovely fiance, people I don't even know that just come up to me and go, "Tell me your story."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about turning emotion into action. And that usually comes from or stems from people say, like, why did you start Heroes?
Yeah.
Why do you work a second job for 25 years, a non-paid second job, that is. And that's really what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was going through, I got ticked.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a why me thing, but it was the competitive juices in me were flowing. I was just ticked off, and then ultimately wanted to do something, and it snowballed, and here we are.
Yeah.
But the other stories of other guests we've had, it's the same type of thing. It's those that want to take that emotion and turn it into action, in particular positive action.
Yeah.
And makes the world a better place.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. Spend a lot of time doing that. Maybe too much time, right? You give up some things, right?
Sure.
But that's okay. Okay, this is really important to me now. Mm-hmm. This used to be important to me. It's not anymore.
Yep.
Now I'm going to use the bandwidth that God's given you to make a difference for others.
Yeah. I mean, it causes us in some cases to kind of reprioritize things, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I hope and I know that my kids are going to be better for this, right? They got to see their dad get after it when he had to, right? I did. I approached that journey like I was preparing for a Super Bowl. I went back to those days, right?
Yep.
Of like, all right, how did these guys prepare? What did they do? And it was just put my head down and go. And I'm not going to stop until I get there, right? Mm-hmm. In cycling, I learned this from a guy who taught me how to cycle. Like, never look at the summit, right? Never look at the top.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter where the top is if you don't put one more stroke and just keep working your way. Just look straight ahead at the road.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll see the top when you get there.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And
that's not a good line.
Yeah. It made a big difference for me. Like, I can't focus on what the end's going to look like when I'm staring down whatever I was staring down that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see that coming through in my boys, and I love that about that. They've been through some tough stuff in their life, things they never should have had to deal with as kids. Mm-hmm. But they are very mature. They're very just, let's go. Like, whatever you put in front of them, they're gonna beat it. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Question: if you were talking to how old were you when you were diagnosed? 40-ish?
Just after 40.
40.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of age, if you're talking to someone else who recently diagnosed, very similar situation, knowing what you know now, and they called you up, and what kind of advice would you give to them?
Yeah. So this usually happens in a couple ways, right? I do this a lot. Yeah. I try to be a part of every Facebook page around brain cancer I can be, right? And people will post something, and I'm like, I have an answer for that. I'll answer it.
Yep.
I'll give them my phone number. Call me, whatever, But the big overarching thing that I try to get across to most people is like, this doesn't define you. It doesn't. This is a season of your life, Now, not everyone's outcome is going to be like mine, and I'm very conscious. I understand that. But it doesn't define you. Only God can define you. He has defined you. And, you have to approach it just a day at a time, an exam at a time, an MRI at a time. Like, whatever they put in front of you on that day, attack it with all you got. Some days are going to be better than others. There's going to be days where you just can't do it. Yep. You can't get out of bed. I was there. Those chemo treatments for me were 6 days on, roughly 20-something days off, right? Yeah. And the first couple rounds, piece of cake. I didn't have much problems with it, but every round it got a little bit worse. Like, I was good for 5 out of the 6 days, then 4, then 3, So there's going to be those tough days, and that's where you just lean on the people who are there for you. Lean on those ninth inning friends, as we talked about earlier, right? Yep. People will show up for you. and you have to be willing to accept it as well. You know, I think especially for men, like, I got this, you know, like, I don't need to rest, or I'm not going to tell you I need to rest, or you feel guilty about it, like, I should be out there. But there were just some days I couldn't do it. Luckily for me, I had, he was 10 at the time. He's 13 now. He just spoke about this at the Mayo. I was talking about it earlier. That's what he talked about. It was like, he was my caregiver, and here's the things I did, you know. And it's important to have those people around you when you need it.
Caregivers are huge.
Yeah.
Very much underrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we've had a few episodes where we talk about just about the caregiver aspect, because I don't think it's has as much of a light shined on it. And I mean, I'll freely admit it. Like, if my wife wasn't around, it would have sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the case for a lot of people. Whoever is that caregiver or caregivers in their lives, I mean, it's a huge role.
Yeah, I think it's also important to, in this environment, right, with the athletic, you know, background of this group and heroes and all that, is, you know, taking care of yourself when you're not in the fight.
Yeah.
You know, I don't cycle because I want to be Lance Armstrong and I want to, you know, be the most fit guy in the world.
Right.
Be nice to, you know, it's nice to stay fit. But having the strength physically and mentally going into the fight makes it a lot easier during the fight.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's something I talk about too, you know, and like, have you put in the work beforehand? My doctors talk about that often. Like, you had your health going into it. You weren't fighting brain cancer while you're fighting other things because you didn't take care of yourself, right? So that's a big component I think that people can take away. Like, man, no one's telling you to go run a marathon or cycle or do these things because you're going to make the Olympics. Like, taking care of yourself will pay dividends
100%
later. For people that are younger, even my age, like, do you really think about that all the time?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Right.
You know? Yeah. It was big for me, though.
Yep. Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us something about Andrew Peters that we don't know, that you haven't shared yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tough one. You stumped me there for a minute. I'm usually not one that gets stumped easily. See, I'm trying to come up with something like really, really good. No, I love music. That would be one that anyone who's watching this who knows me. Like, I will go to any and every concert I can possibly go to.
Okay. What was the most recent concert you went to?
The most recent one we went to was probably Kip Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kip Moore was the last one we went to. That's kind of like an offshoot of my Colts experience. Was that I became close with not all the players, but, you know, some of those guys, like guys I worked with more. Or we just had similarities in personality, or we like the same things. And one of those guys, I'll leave him nameless for now because he'll give me crap if I'm like mentioning his name everywhere. But he loved music as much as I did. And so one night we went to a concert in Broad Ripple. A guy named Matt Carney was playing. And great musician. Just put a new song out recently, actually, and I really enjoy it. But his guys came out afterwards and were like, "Hey, you know, Matt would really like to meet you guys." I'm like, he doesn't want to meet me. Let's meet him. You know? Cool. Let's go. And but then that led to like relationships in the music business. Those guys knew somebody who knew somebody, and any concert I ever wanted to go to, and it's been that way for close to 20 years.
Wow.
Any concert that we want to go to, I make if I don't have a relationship with those folks, I can make a couple phone calls and make it happen. For many years, it was like, hey, you know, we'll come to the show, and if you're ever in town and you want to catch a Colts game, you're in the same town we are, you can come. And we've had a couple bands and folks that have like come to the sideline and
cool,
that kind of thing, right?
That's awesome.
Which was cool. What I found out later, though, was being in the booze business, that pays more. Like, what does your wife like to drink? What do you like to drink? You bring him a box of wine, that goes a long way. Especially for a musician whose wife's on the road and she's like, I've seen this show 1,000 times. I really don't want to be here. But there's a nice bottle of wine back there for me. And so we do that a lot, travel around a bit, and
Yeah, that's cool.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, music's our thing.
Yes,
Awesome.
you asked him what the most recent concert, but if you could only go to one concert this year, who would it be? And maybe where would it be? Although that might be less important, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I typically say the Dave Matthews Band, but I've seen them probably 60 times.
Okay. Yeah.
But those guys are great. And one in particular, he was one of those guys that, like, when I was down and out, not feeling good at the Mayo, he was calling me and like, dude, how you doing? Like, you feeling all right? What can we do for you? I'm like, what can you do for me? You're making great music. You don't have to do anything for me, man. Yeah. The fact that you called or sent me a text or whatever, that meant the world.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So typically I'd say them, but there's some others that would still be on that list. I really like to see them again, or I haven't seen them. Yeah, right. George Strait I hadn't seen before. Okay. I've seen him twice now. Like that was a cool show. Just
going old school.
Yeah, old school country.
Yeah.
My kids, I took them to see Ed Sheeran in Chicago. Okay. Well, actually, I took my oldest. My youngest had a medical procedure. That was really cool. So it's about the experience. It's about who you're with and all that at this point for me. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's the one?
Well, I really would like to go see the Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge out in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one place I have. Well, I'd say the one place. That's one place I haven't seen him, and that's like outside of Indianapolis, and a couple other places. That's like the epic place to see them.
Yeah,
but yeah.
How many times have you been to Red Rocks?
Never. That'd be another one.
I just assumed you've probably been there a few times.
No, I haven't. Okay. I haven't had. I've had the opportunity.
Sure,
but most of the time I had the opportunity. I had little kids, and so it was like to take a weekend to go out there and see a show. In retrospect, maybe I would have. I don't know. Well, someone else can take care of the kids for the weekend.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool. A lot of our friends play out there, not every year, but every couple of years.
Sure.
One of these days I'm going to take them up on it and be like,
absolutely.
Go see an epic show out there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, on that note, Andrew, thank you for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely.
We really appreciate you coming in. We're glad to make this connection, and I have a feeling we'll be connecting on other things here in the near future as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always good to find others who like turning that emotion to action and teaming up and partnering, because certainly as a group we can do more than just as individuals. And so we appreciate you sharing your story.
If you don't take these opportunities and turn them around for good for others, then what was the point?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. You were saved for a reason.
Yep.
You were. I was. Like, we're here for a reason.
Yep.
Make the most of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
She was over there diligently taking notes. Like, I'm going to remember he said that.
She can remember all she wants. I love her dearly. She's the best.
Awesome.
Yep.
And thank all you guys for joining us on this episode of the Summits Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to Andrew's story, and being a part of it. Any comments, any words of wisdom that you guys want to share, any more bashing of me, feel free. I've heard it all. Throw it in the comments there. We'd appreciate it. Also, again, if you're on the Heroes Foundation YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, shame on you. Please do so. It's absolutely free. It will only take you about 0.7 seconds. And hit that notification bell icon while you're at it so you can be alerted when new episodes drop. We would greatly appreciate that. And don't forget, all this is based on one thing, and that is beat cancer.